So still students are stuck in the other class.
No, it's just
Okay. Okay, then we can start, right? Where are others then? Okay.
I will go to the bathroom.
Okay, sure. Okay, now one important thing. I know this course so far has been theoretical, right? So wait, others. Okay, so the course has been
there is something.
2 minutes, maybe then you can do. Okay. So the course has been theoretical so far. Okay. I wanted to bring practical things to the class. Okay. So I've been promising you that. So I will announce it inshallah on your WhatsApp group as well and so on. Next class, I need you to bring your laptops. Okay. So because you remember we in the last lecture we have started talking about reporting and visual analytics. So there's something very powerful about Excel. We talked about Tableau and so on. We can talk about that at the end, whether you are able to read anything about Tableau and Alteryx. But inshallah, next class will be a hands-on workshop for Excel pivot tables, pivot charts. Something called pivot table, pivot charts. I suppose you may have used Excel to certain extents, right? Have you used certain functions, maybe like sum or like that, right? But you will see you haven't seen what Excel can do. So one of the things that is making Excel stand out in job market is pivot tables. Pivot, as some people call it pivot, but they pronounce it it's a French word called pivot. Okay, so pivot table, pivot charts is considered one of the most powerful things in Excel. Okay, and if you talk to any mid-level to top-tier managers, they are all using this pivot table, pivot charts. Why it is so important for you to learn? Of course, we'll have a short project on it. So after learning pivot table, pivot charts, we'll split the project into 2 small parts. Meaning that rather than writing a long text report, we'll give you a data and I'll ask you to use pivot tables to answer certain questions, right? So it is like an extended assignment, or you can call it a project, small project, okay? Now, this pivot table should go on your CV as well, because you don't write Excel, you somehow mention pivot tables and pivot charts as well, because it is a very important consideration these days. So when we were talking to employers about the new program, they keep telling us that our students are not good in Excel, and when they say that our students are not good in Excel, they keep mentioning pivot table, pivot charts. Okay, so inshallah we'll try to make up for that shortcoming for you. Okay, so inshallah we will do that. So next time, as I will announce it on the WhatsApp group and hopefully through Blackboard as well, is that next class, please, I want to see your laptops coming, and I'm going to send you an example Excel file. The Excel file will have some real data set like this. Mainly it will be pivot table, pivot charts plus few advanced Excel functions. Maybe you have seen them already, maybe you don't. So it's like 80% pivot table, pivot charts, but 10-15% maybe some of the advanced functions that we will use. Maybe some of them you have seen it already, but it will be a refresher. Okay. So if your friends are not here, please also tell them that it's very important to go hands-on, meaning that you will be doing everything by yourself on the laptop. So each one individually bring a laptop. Okay. So having said that, let's just go. You can, brother, you can you want to go and you can go and come back.
Oh, okay.
So we are starting our lecture now. So if you remember, we were talking about business reporting and visualization. By the way, for Excel, I'm going to send you another set of slides. So it will be called Chapter 3 extension, because pivot table, pivot charts, one of the main jobs is use it in reporting, generating reports from the data. Okay, and of course, it has some graphs, nice looking graphs and so on. So I'm going to send the slides for you later. But we were last time talking about reporting. What is reporting? Reporting, we said that it is reporting is any information that you can use for decision making. Keep that in mind, because Excel pivot charts, when we'll do, in the project, you'll have to go with the same mindset. As a manager, imagine we'll simulate like a real business situation where as a manager I need certain decisions to take and I need to have certain information, right? And then you will use this pivot charts and pivot tables to extract reports that can help me take decisions, right? So this is what we'll inshallah do, okay? So hopefully you will understand that better. And of course, you know, purpose, source, format, even you'll see some nice features of in terms of look and feel of how those reports look like. You know, they are very nice looking reports as compared to what you're used to. So inshallah we'll talk about that. So now let's just come to where we left. So one of the things I asked you is to get more information on Tableau and Alteryx and BI. Are you able to do that? Last class, we talked about 2-3 software, Tableau and Alteryx. I gave you like an informal assignment.
Yes.
What happened to that assignment?
Well, we got quizzes, so I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Not a good sign, brother.
Yeah, it's not.
Very, very crucial. It's for your own good. Even if it's informal, trust me, it's a game changer for you people. So you need to take it more seriously. Can I expect next class to have a different response?
Inshallah.
Right?
What assignment?
Please, yeah?
What the assignment?
What is the assignment? So there are 2 softwares. One is called Tableau and the other one is called Alteryx. I want you to learn one of them, and to learn one of them, I want you to gather information about number 1, what these softwares do. Number 1. Number 2, if you wanted to become a certified person in one of them, what are the certifications? You know, what do I need to do to train myself in that software and get a certification? Meaning that you're telling yourself, if I wanted to learn Tableau and I wanted to put it in my CV, what should I do? Right? So I need to know first of all what Tableau does, and then I need to know, okay, it has 3 certifications. First one, basic one, intermediate one, expert one, right? So to get basic one, I have to do this and this. For the advanced one, I have to do this and this. So I have a plan. How long do I need to do the basic one, the intermediate one, and the advanced one? You understand that?
Yes.
2 softwares. One is called the Tableau. This is the Tableau. You know, you can look at the spelling. And the other one is called Alteryx. AltYrex, something like that spelling. Okay. Both are competitors in the market, and the 2 software that I mentioned, they are competitors in Saudi market. There are more SAS, you know, there are so many out there, but I'm talking about only the ones that have strong presence here in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so please, it will make a big difference for you. Okay, so please next time, maybe I'll try to put in WhatsApp reminders. Some of you can put a reminder that we have to talk about Alteryx and Tableau next time, okay? So please don't forget about that. So let's just continue. Actually, you know those things that we were talking about, visualization and so on last time?
Yes.
Tableau is like very good in visualization and so on. So that's what I want you to know. One is good in what, the other is good in what, and so on, okay? So let's just continue talking. Last time, we just introduced the concept of dashboards. You remember car dashboard? I talked about car dashboard. It has all the information you need, like in a single place. So we will talk about business dashboards, performance dashboards. Okay, and so these are visual displays where they display important information that is consolidated, meaning that I don't have to go on different screens, meaning that I bring all the information on a single screen, whatever I need as a business person, and it must be arranged on a single screen. Arranged means what? Arranged simply does not mean like arranged based on common sense, but you have taken a course called HCI. You remember that?
Yes.
You have some user interface design principles. Do you remember that? Like if you haven't forgotten, you can just go back and have a look at it. There are design principles, visibility, and so on, right? And you have user experience, UX goals, and so on to achieve, right? So arranged means it has to serve a purpose according to that. Okay. So we will talk a little bit more about that inshallah later. But a typical dashboard may look something like this. So it should capture a lot of things. So apparently it looks like something fancy, right, with some graphs and charts. So we need to be more precise here. So what does different graphs or different groups representing? So we need to be more precise. So if your boss in your co-op or in a company asks you to design a dashboard, so should I just put graphs randomly or whatever I think fancy? No, it's not like that. Okay. So I have to have a clear understanding of what is put on the dashboards. So let's just try to look at it more closely. We already said that it should contain all the information on a single screen clearly, without distraction, means that it has to be summarized and nicely put. But what information do I need to decide to put it on the screen? So these three layers are very important in dashboards. Number one, as a manager, do I need to monitor anything?
Your employee.
I'm the employer, I'm the manager, whatever, right? So I have a dashboard and I need to monitor something that is going on, right? So that monitoring is a very important aspect. So if your boss asks you to design a dashboard, what is the first question you would ask your manager?
Data.
No, you would ask, what do you need to
Monitor.
Everybody understand that? Because dashboard is designed for a purpose. So you should ask, what do you need to monitor? Because those are the graphs that a person wants to see. I need to monitor my sales, daily sales, right? You understand how they have to explain. So I have to put my daily sales graph. I have to put analysis, meaning my performance over last 5 years. This is analysis. Or there are certain management aspects that I need to track. There are 10 people. Who is right now working? Who's not working? How many nurses are in hospital? How many nurses are active? How many doctors are on call? Right? This information is needed by manager. Oh, patients are increasing, waiting times are increasing. Now, in order to manage, I have to increase doctors on call or nurses on call. You understand that? So you have to ask when somebody asks you need to ask, go back and say, okay, fine. If you want me to design dashboards, tell me what you want to monitor, if you want to have any analysis on the screen, and what do you need to manage? And for that management, what information you need to keep on the screen, right? So what are the three layers? Monitoring, analysis, and management. Okay. So if you understand that, this is just a case I'm going to skip. So again, it looks fancy, but if you read the case, there are aspects which pertain to monitoring, there are aspects which relates to analysis, and then there are aspects related to management, right? So you need to be aware of the purpose of each one of them. Now, normally monitoring comes usually at a center. You remember human-computer interaction, places are important, visibility and so on. So if I need to monitor something, it is at the corner, not a good idea. So their placements are also important. For example, in your car, if you're driving on the highway, your speed is one of the most crucial things that you look at.
Yeah, because there is Sahar.
Sahar. So that's why you have the first thing you see is what? Your speed.
Your speed, yeah.
There are more things on your screen, right? Fuel consumption. Do you want to keep fuel as the main thing? Why don't you keep fuel as the main thing? Because it's not as important as the speed. You don't look at it every minute, you don't look at that frequently, right? You know that fuel is full next 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, I don't have to look at it, right? So you put it in a small dial at the corner, right? So that concept has to be implemented here in dashboards as well. So use of visual components to highlight data and exceptions. Highlighting the data that you need and all other exceptions, meaning those red lights like in your car. Exception means something goes wrong, so it has to be in the right place. So your dashboard must be able to do these things. Number one, it has to be transparent to the user, meaning that it has to be designed for people who are not expert in IT. Meaning that it should not look only fancy, but it should be it should be comfortable for people who are even completely non-IT, non-IS people. Okay, easy to use by the user. Secondly, it must capture all the data that you need, which means that it might be bringing all the data into a single summarized view from different data sources. Third, it should allow drill down or drill through. Remember our discussion on drill down? Right? So you click on it, more detail, click on it, more detail, right? Like I told you that a sales data for Saudi Arabia, you click on it, it gives you province wise, you click on it, it gives you city wise, right? So it should allow you drill down. Because you cannot put all the information on a dashboard, so it should allow you to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the data. Okay, of course we talked about real time is becoming very important these days, right? Should require little coding. Now this is where Tableau is very important. This is why I want you to know and learn about Tableau. If you need to create dashboard in Python, you'll ask your manager, maybe give me like 6 months. Because you need to code and you need to learn even new libraries and so on. But if you want to do it in Tableau, you'll say, give me like half an hour and I'll prepare a dashboard for you.
Half an hour, is it enough?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, an example. Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're putting on the dashboard, of course. But just relatively, I'm showing you a comparison, right? In these softwares, it comes very quick. Maybe not half an hour, maybe like 2 hours, 3 hours in a day, but certainly not like 6 months. We have been developing an Alteryx dashboard here, so whenever they ask, it takes usually like 30, 40, 50 minutes to create a dashboard for us here. So very quickly we create another one. If they want to change anything, it takes like this to change, on these software. Very easy to deal with. And we are bringing data from SIS, from bringing data from here and there, and it is very easy for us to deal with. Okay. So no coding, little coding, and deployment maintenance is very easy. Now another thing, you remember one of the things I mentioned was monitoring. So your next question is, for example, you ask, for monitoring this particular thing, what KPI is used? Because KPI is the term used in industry. If they wanted to monitor certain things, normally they're asking for a certain KPI, so you can even go and check that industry standard. Like what is the standard used in oil industry, or what is the standard used in retail industry and so on, right? Another important thing to look at, because normally the whole industry is following a certain standard. Wrap metrics with the contextual data, meaning that give important information about it. For example, sales where? Is it Dammam or is it like Khobar, right? Contextual data, from where to where? Last year or last 2 months or last like 5 years or what? So contextual data is important. Prioritize, rank, alerts and exceptions. It means that important, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. But if there's something going wrong, your dashboard should be able to pick that up and highlight it for you. Okay, that is one of the purposes of that. Enrich dashboard with business user comments. This doesn't happen with everything. It depends on if the dashboard is related to customer service. Then you have those things generally that might appear there. 3 different levels, information present in 3 levels. We'd already talked about that. Visual constructs, meaning that use the right graph for the right thing. It simply means that, for example, here, can you see that it looks so easy to read what it is telling you?
Yeah, about the weather.
I mean, some sales in different regions,
Oh.
right? Not weather. Actually, sales distribution. But these are the amounts in different regions. Now, because it's on the map, you don't have to find which area it is. So, right tool for the right purpose. Now, if I put the same thing in a graph like this, can you see the difference? Meaning that I don't know this country, I don't know even the name of the country, right, where that is. But geographically, I can see even those groupings, how they are close, how am I doing in a region, right? So it says right, you have to use the right visual constructs, right visualizations. Now, what is the purpose of dashboard? I already told you that you need to ask why you want to construct a dashboard. So what is the purpose? You said monitoring, analysis and management. So dashboard is only part of something that you're doing. It is helping you do monitoring and control, right? Because you monitor to do something, right? Give you an example that you do every day. When you're driving on a highway and Sahir you want to avoid, you monitor to do what?
To slow down.
Slow down if you're going too fast, right?
Make
If-
decision.
You have to make decisions, you have to take actions, right? So monitoring is only there to actually help you drive, right? In the right way. So we will talk about not just monitoring, but the whole, what is the role of these dashboards in the whole business performance management. So we need to have, of course, a real-time system that should alert managers. That's the role of the dashboard. To do what? Take potential opportunities. If you're going slow, the opportunity is you can go a little
Alert.
faster.
What does alert mean?
Impending problems, like you going too fast, maybe you'll get a ticket. Slow down, right?
Doctor,
Yes.
what does alerts mean? Alerts.
Alert means like
Wow.
warnings.
Warnings. Yeah.
Temperature goes up. For example, in the car, there's like a red light, or there are like blinking appears and say, "Look, there's problem in your engine. Please stop."
Mhm.
Alerts are those. Okay. And then empowers them to react through models and collaboration. Meaning that you are, because you're monitoring, I showed you the car. I mean, you react, you act. Okay. And the same thing is called performance management. Now, in business, car is easy, but in business, it is a more complicated situation. So we will talk about end to end what it takes to really make use of these dashboards. Okay, so how it works. So this is called business performance management. So there are some business processes that are going on that you have to design and monitor, and then you use different methodologies, metrics, and technology to make it work. So there are three components, major components here: the processes, the tools, and the methods that you use. So tools could be, like dashboards and so on, and methods could be your KPIs, etc. that you're using. But eventually, you're trying to control processes. So going at a little higher level, the way businesses work is that you always have, modern businesses work is that you always prepare a strategy of how you want to run the business, right? Your business strategic management goals. So you have vision, mission, values, goals, objectives to achieve. And then based on those strategies, you develop what is your plans, your budgets, your operational plans, right? And then you have to monitor whether you're following the plan or not. So plans are not enough. I think next term you will take project management.
Yeah.
It's a huge discussion here. You have
Not
to learn to
uh,
develop a full project management plan. That's the whole purpose of the course.
Not the project management. I mean, support decision making.
No, there's a course called MIS Project Management. DSS is another course.
Project management. Is it course or the?
No, it's a course. It's a full
Ah.
course.
Okay.
So there are two courses. One is called Decision Support Systems, and one is called Project Management, and then there must be a third one. I forgot the name.
I thought
Maybe web security or something.
I thought it is just we will make a project
No, it's a full course.
Ah.
So in that course, these two things are what you do. You create a plan from scratch, and that's even your project. You have to actually take a real project and create full plan. And then one of the major discussion is plan is not enough. There is a substantial discussion on how you monitor your plan, meaning that how you're following it. Okay. So and then there's again a discussion on how if you're not following the plan, which not very commonly happens, you deviate from your plan. What actions are you taking and adjusting your plan and your work? Okay, it's a very common thing. So these three things, and then on top of it, you always have like a strategy. So, so you have to strategize, you have to plan, monitor, and act. It's there everywhere in project management or anything else. Okay, so again, for businesses, where does our course stand? Our course stand is right dashboards and performance monitoring. Okay, so I will not take a lot of time here because we are defining end to end the whole thing, right? So strategic plan, what does it include? You already know. You have already taken a strategic management course, right? You have to understand situational analysis. You have to plan for a certain period, 5 years, right? You always say plan for strategy, 5 years, 10 years. And then you have to scan the environment, meaning that see what competitors are doing there, what government regulations are and all those things. And then identify success factors, see where are the gaps, SWOT analysis and all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you develop your plan. So it is just summarizing what you already know very well, okay? And then the operational plan is actually the details. Well-defined tactics, initiative, resource planning, and what are your expected results. Again, we are not going into the detail here, but project management is a very good course in understanding. It's not 3 lines, it's the whole course talking about that. Okay, so inshallah you will learn more about the those converting your operations into projects and so on. Okay. Monitoring framework has to be there. We already talked a little bit about that. Act and adjust. I already said that monitoring is not enough. What do you do with monitoring when you're not taking any action? So, in terms of especially, they are also mentioning projects here. So, success or mere survival depends on new projects. So, you have to keep monitoring. This is the only thing that is saying. And inshallah, we will talk more about that in the next course. Okay. I think we have already, we have one more important thing to discuss. In strategic management, so how do you measure your performance? How do you monitor your performance? What was the tool that was discussed?
Through your data.
No, give me the name of the tool that you use to monitor. So if you say our university if a business is growing, so what is it that you call a number that is showing the growth of the company?
So,
right?
Through survey.
See, we keep referring to this thing, key performance indicator. You remember KPI?
Yes.
So KPI is something that is used heavily in businesses. So I just said that in you have to ask your boss what KPI you want to put on the dashboard, right? So that this is the same thing. So KPIs can capture ranges, targets, time frames, benchmarks. But I just wanted to mention that there are 2 kinds of KPIs that your book is mentioning. One is called outcome KPI and the other is called driver KPI. These ones are called lagging indicators and these ones are called leading indicators. This one may be new to you. Maybe they have not discussed leading and lagging indicators because in economics they normally discuss leading and lagging indicators, not in strategic management. So there's something called leading indicators are those indicators that show sign before actual something happens. You understand what leading indicators are? So you already see the sign of something coming. So they indicate to you before something happens. These are called leading indicators. Petrol prices in certain countries go up. That's a sign that inflation will go up. Not now, immediately, because the prices has gone up of fuel. So the effect of inflation actually come over next few months. right? Do you agree? Do you understand what I'm saying? So as you increase the price now, the prices of commodities, retailers, retail items, they don't go up now. They go next few months, right? So you know that it's a leading indicator, thinking that the inflation might go up. Leading indicator. Lagging indicator is like the prices of commodities, as we said. It comes after. So one is leading, the other is lagging. One is ahead, the other is following that. So one is leading, the other is following. So if you see here, sales is leading because you're selling now, and because of that your revenues are going up later. So lagging. Okay. Balance scorecard is just a tool. I don't think we have to go into too much detail. You may have seen that very well in your strategic management course. I'll just talk about Six Sigma. So, does Sigma recall you? When I say Sigma, does this think about something that you studied in statistics course? Sigma, in stats course.
Animal addition. Yes.
What is that?
Sum of something.
No, not that Sigma. Small Sigma.
It's a symbol like A.
Standard deviation.
Yes. Last class I asked, nobody answered. Mashallah, you were able to recall.
What is it? Standard?
Standard deviation.
Ah.
Standard deviation. Very good, because you're the first one who answered this question. So, standard deviation. Do you remember normal distribution, the bell-shaped curve?
Yes.
It shows deviation in your business processes. Meaning that mean is like typically this is what happens, but sometimes you do more, sometimes you do less. For example, if I'm making a pipe, I want to make 1 meter pipe, but because my cutting machine is not very accurate, so sometimes I make 1.1 meters, sometimes 1.2 meters, sometimes 0.99 meters, sometimes 0.8 meter. So normally manufacturers, they don't say I need 1 meter pipe, they say between 0.99 and 1.1 is fine. So they leave a space. So do you see, this is my space, but my machine is even bad. So it doesn't produce between 9.99 and 1.9, it produces like this. Can you see what I'm saying? So 0.95 to 1.5, very bad machine, my tool is really bad. Now, if you see standard deviation, one standard deviation on this side, one standard deviation on the other side, second standard deviation, third standard deviation. So what is the important
standard
thing?
deviation is
The measure of
no, it's like the mountain. There is 50-50 and 3% and 3% here.
I'm going towards that. So what is the significance of 3 sigma? Who can tell me that? So you see here in that diagram, you say 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma. 3 sigma covers almost the whole distribution. 99.99% distribution. So only very few left on this side and that side. So what does that mean? Imagine this is the distribution, this is what I want. I improve my process so much, improving meaning that the variation becomes less and less and less and less. Now this is what I want, and this is my 3 sigma here, 3 sigma here, 6 sigma covering. Meaning 99.99% of the time I'm doing it correctly. You understand what we just did? We improved the process so that it stops going on the other side.
I think you should show us a picture so you can.
I can show you in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to understand it. But conceptually, are you understanding? So we are talking about reducing the variability in the process. Okay. Now 6 sigma, as you see on the screen, it's all about improving the process such that this bell curve becomes thin and thin and thin and thin, and it almost covers what you want. It doesn't go outside. So 6 sigma is a methodology. Even if I'll show it to you, but Dr. Tahir should show it to you. You're taking management 330 from Dr. Tahir?
Quality management.
Yes. It's one of the quality management concepts. Actually, we touch upon so many courses, but it is something that I'm pretty sure he will teach you in 6 sigma methodology. And the whole idea is to reduce the variance there. So now you want to see Six Sigma. I'll quickly go to a web page because this was almost the last thing. You know, this is just what Dr. Tahir will teach you. DMIAC, it's just a process, okay? So let me just go. Okay. 6. Oops, sorry, 6, not psi sigma. Do you see here
Yes.
mean 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma?
Yeah.
So from here to here, do you see that very few items are left after that?
Yes.
So that's like only 0.9, 99.9 or 99.6 something percent is covered. So what you actually want is you go from here to here. Can you see that it is becoming thinner and thinner and thinner? You want your process, which is like too many defects, to fewer defects, to fewer defects. Can you see that 6? This is the limit I want. This is the rod. I want my rod to be between these two lines.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now my previous process is so bad. I'm almost producing so many bad things. Then I improved. Can you see that only very few items are left? But Six Sigma is almost like covering. I'm not producing any bad items at all. 1 in a million or something, right? So Six Sigma is a methodology. And what is Six Sigma? You know, the DMIAC that I mentioned. So he will talk more about it. So I'll let him talk. So it's a methodology of how you keep improving your process, improving the process, such that it becomes so good that it doesn't produce bad items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it for today. Inshallah, next class I'm going to share these slides for you. This is the pivot table, pivot chart. So these slides are not up there, so I'm going to show it to you. Sorry, I'll upload it on Blackboard. Brothers, please, quiz is less than 1 week.